is the continuation of the introduction video that I did yesterday over here on my YouTube channel, Moho Fishing. We're gonna start with this motor right here. This is the motor that had the tilt seal leaking. We're gonna start with the motor. We're gonna replace that first, and then we're gonna continue the oil changes and maintenance and stuff like that. So I'm gonna raise the motor up. That way we can put the safety on, and always safety. Also, while you guys are doing maintenance to, where you have to touch oils and grease and stuff like that, make sure you have some gloves. It's very crucial. Those oils that still have a little bit of lead in the mixture and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna replace that seal first, and we'll go from there. All right. Raise that motor up all the way up, just enough to clear for the safety. Bring it down, and there you go. It's sitting right there. Now the next step is going to be we have to release the pressure that is inside the trim system, because if you try to open that, more likely you won't, but if you do, you're going to create a lot of damage. So with a flathead screwdriver, okay, we got the on the side over here. Let me show you guys. On the side over here, you have that right in there, and obviously it looks like you can put a flathead screwdriver in there. All right. So you're gonna turn it in. You're gonna spin it. You're gonna turn it counterclockwise. Release all that pressure in there. All right. Once that is done, all right, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna loosen up the cap for the reservoir. That way, if there's any air in the system, preventing from that. All right. So all the pressure is out. All right, we're gonna put on some gloves. Since now we're gonna start with the oil stuff, trying to remove that cap and stuff like that. So there is a pin. There is a big part about that big, this thick around pin that goes to the neck of the motor, and that connects to and that makes the piston right here connects to that. So we're gonna disconnect that. Let me show you guys right here. You guys can see it has that clip right there. Now they're making tools so you can squeeze, or you can open that and you can take it out easy. I don't have that tool, so I'm gonna use the handy dandy flathead screwdriver and work it little by little. It should come out of there easy. That piece out. And there it is. So with two small screwdrivers, flatheads, you just pry on this open and it'll pop right open. Alright, you can grab yourself a something small, just so you can push that pin. There he goes. There we go. So this is what I'm talking about right here. This is the pin. and that holds the piston for the tilt in the neck of the engine. You might want to buy yourself some tools when it comes to replacing those seals and messing with the the trim caps and the tail caps. Something like this. So for this motor, for those caps is the MT009, MT0009. Once again, it's MT Mike Tango 0009 tool. Right there. They make some other ones because the tilt cylinder cap is different than the trim cap. Trim caps are a lot smaller, so they make another tool. This one is the MT004, and for those who have the 300 Yamaha engines, I got a buddy of mine that has a 2014, and he uses the MT0006 tool. Very important. Because these little pegs right here will go inside those holes right there. So if you try to use so when you buy these seal kits, sometimes they come with this tool right here. This is absolutely trash unless you have no other one, unless you are in an extremely emergency that you need to use this. This will strip and you will not get those caps off of there. So burn it, trash it, make it a lure, whatever you want to do, but this is worthless. So that's why I spend the money and get the right tool. That way I can get the job the right time, the right way, the first time. So, all right, we're gonna be moving the cap and see how it goes. Okay, guys, so check this out. So I have to use a piece of PVC, CPVC, whatever you want to call it, just to hold that tool in place. Otherwise it's going to slip and it's going to strip your thing. So fabricate, get yourself a piece of CPVC or PVC. That way it'll, if you guys can see, it's clamping on one corner of the tool. That way it keeps pressure down as you are turning to break it loose. So let's see if it works. All right, let's see. I hope he does. It should work. My theory comes through. Okay, there you go. See how that tool is keeping pressure on there? There you go, perfect. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. So once that's loose, I'm gonna lift up the motor again. Get this little handy dandy mischief tool I made out of there. Bring this back down to the safety tabs. All right, now you're gonna continue with the tool. Keep loosening it up with this. There it goes. I'm gonna give them a couple more turns and see if I can loosen up by hand now. There it goes. Now this is probably gonna leak some fluid out. There he goes. So there's that cap all loose, folks. So I'm gonna lift up the motor a little bit here, and all of that should come right out. There it goes. All right. So it took a little more than what I needed, what I expected. All right, so it's gonna leak some fluid. You're gonna sit the motor easily right back down. So I'm gonna have to remove this right here. There is some springs. You got 4 springs with some ball bearings inside this casing right here. You have to make sure that you don't lose those ball bearings. So the seal that is leaking is the one inside here. It's hard to see, but once I get it out, you guys are gonna be able to see it. So in order to slide this cap out of here, I have to remove this piece right here. That looks like it's gonna be like a 3/4. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do next, I shouldn't take the whole thing out. Well, I have to come out, but I'm gonna put this back in here, and I'm gonna use this as leverage so I can unscrew this nut right here. So I'm gonna find my pin again. I'm just gonna present this bad boy right here. In here there's some plastic sleeves that you need to put back in there. All right, perfect. Oh, I guess I did that one wrong. It goes inside. All right, let's see. So we're gonna put this bad boy in here. Put this pin back in there. Perfect. So it's gonna be hanging like that. By the way, that socket is gonna be a 13. I'm sorry. The socket for that nut is gonna be a 15/16. Alright. Now if the theory doesn't fail me, it should come this way. It should get loosened up this way. No, that's tightened it. It's the other way around. There you go. All right, once that's somewhat loose, they are very, very important. So organize your workspace. All right, once that knot is finger loose, nut, washer, 1 spring, 2 spring, 3, and 4. Now, this is I'm going to show you guys real quick here. It's hard to see, they're so small that it's a little bit hard to see them, but there's those ball bearings. See how little they are? So they go inside that cavity on each hole before those pins right there. So if you lose those ball bearings, boy, you're in trouble. So there's 4 of them. All right. All right, perfect. Next step is I'm going to remove this out of here. Once you remove those, they should come right out. There you go. Then there is an O-ring here. Okay. We don't need to replace those at this moment. Now, should you? Yeah. Am I going to do it? No. I'm going to see. I believe that seal didn't come. If it came with a kit, I will replace it because you're already in it. If you're already in it, replace it. All right, folks. So the seal that came in it with it is this one, which it looks a lot bigger. I don't think that's not even the right one. So I don't think that's the right seal. So this one right here is, so you take the cap off. there is the cylinder. Make sure you don't drop it, don't ding it, don't bend it. So there's a seal in there. That seal is, I believe, is this one. Okay. Gonna take it out now. All right, that seal right there. Yeah, it matches. So match the seal. Diameter matches perfect. Awesome. So this one works. All right, so we're gonna insert that one in there like that. Very slippery. All right, so that one sits in the channel in there like that. Now, this is the troublemaker here. All right, so we're gonna take that one out. Should be able to just pry it out of there. So let's see how that works. Oh, there he goes. So there it is, folks. That's that one. Now we're gonna match that seal also, but first we're gonna clean all that debris in there. So grab a nice rag, clean all that debris in there. That way when the new seal sits in, it doesn't damage the new seal. There you go. Just like that, folks. Just like that. Now, I believe I was actually wrong. There is actually another seal that sits inside this cap right here. And, oh, there it is. Voila. So, no, yeah, it comes with all the right seals. Perfect. So since that one sits in there, some of these motors, like the production date, sometimes, you know, the engineer say, you know what, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, so I'm gonna put this kind of seal kit in this motor, even though, you know, they're so close. You know, one was made in, you know, 2000 and I don't know, let's say October. Let's say if it's a 2010 model engine and it was produced October of 2009, something like that. So all of a sudden now they make it in 2010. So new seal goes into the cavity in here, like midway into the cap. All right. So it's just a matter of trying to get it in there as best as possible. There it goes. To do something like this, you have to be a little bit of mechanically inclined, okay? I mean, not an expert, but a little bit of knowledge of, you know, what are you doing mechanically wise. So there's that. And now we're gonna do the outer seal. This bad boy right here. So this bad boy right here sits like this in there. So the flat part, it goes inside. The one with the little channel goes on the outside. So we're gonna use our finger first to get it in, you know, or thumb to get it aligned. Now some experts recommend to use a socket to, this one is not too bad to get it in there. Let me see if the pin is somewhat the same. Alright. Yeah. They recommend to get a socket which of the same diameter and to push it in there. So I feel comfortable about that. Let me get a socket real quick and see. Alright guys, so pretty much get a socket which is the same diameter as the outer part of the seal, and you know, just give it a good press, that way it sits in there. All right, so there you go. So we got the outer seal the inside seal that goes screw on into the big reservoir, and the seal in here, the mid shaft seal, if you want to call it that. All right, let's put it all back together. So once again, we're gonna slide this puppy like this. The thread part is down. Make sure nothing gets kinked. Nothing gets kinked. There you go, perfect. All right, I like that better. Next, we're gonna put in this again in here. The next step will be putting the ball bearings back in there. This might be the tricky part. All right, there's one. All right, there's two. All right, that one is three. And four. Perfect. And then you put these things looking up like that, so they have to look up, so the base on the bottom, so it keeps that ball bearing in place. Right, next step is going to be the springs on each one of them. You know, play with a little bit to get it in there with those little stubby things. I don't know what they call it, but they look like little pins. Might be pins. All right. Now we got a washer to prevent from the springs to come up. Now we got the nut. There you go. Now grab, what I would do is grab another tool and use it as leverage, like that. That way, you can do that, or you can, you can use the same, engine again, and that's what we'll do. So, but to give it a good snug in there. There you go. Just enough, just enough. I'm ready to put this bad boy back in there. So we're gonna lift the engine back up again. And I'm gonna put my handy dandy tool in there again, so give me some pressure. Give me some good old pressure. Okay, that should be just enough. All right, pick that up again. Get my tool out of there, my cap out of there, and we should be good to go. All right. Man, that pin is not fun to put back in there. You have to align it perfectly, and one person could be a little bit of a headache. So yeah, there's that. All right, so that's there. The next step is to put the clip back in the other side of the pin. Close this thing. Let's see if it has any fluid in it. It should have some fluid in there, so I'm gonna close it, I'm gonna raise it up. Check the fluid level. There's no fluid coming out of it, so we're going to put some in there. Alright, some in there now. Alright. Gonna take the safety pins off. And then I'm gonna bleed it little by little. Slowly going down. You gotta be careful because some of this will drop really fast. So what you wanna do is bleed it somewhat, you know, considerably speed. Alright. Once it hits the trim tabs, go all the way down. Open it up all the way. There you go. Leave it open for a few seconds. Close it. Raise it up again. Alright, we're going to check and see if it needs fluid. Oh, safety pins. Remember, safety, safety, safety. Oh, that's full. That is puking out of there as fast as he will. So clean your work area. That is good. Clean any residue from overspill. Goes. Inspect it again. No leaks. No nothing. Excellent. All right. All right, peeps. So we're gonna continue the service on it. We're gonna do the oil. The oil now on this side, on this engine. Oil filter. I'm gonna use a pump system that they sell it in West Marine. Let me show you guys what I'm working with. So I heard nothing but good news about this right here. So you pump it, and the vacuum that creates inside here will suck the oil into here. So we're gonna give that a try. And while it's sucking the oil, we're going to be changing the fuel filters, the one in the motor, the one in the transom, which is the fuel water separator. And, well, you know, good to go. Now, some people recommend to start the engine before, you know, let it warm up a little bit. That way, that oil gets nice and liquidy, you know, nice and loose. That we can get the most out of there. So, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hook up the hose real quick. I'm gonna run it for you know, a minute and get the oil out of there. All right, guys. So we're gonna use this pump system right here. Once again, I show you guys from West Marine. I'm gonna all right. I'm gonna insert the this tube right here. It has a wire inside to keep the shape. I'm gonna insert the tube. I'll show you guys where. It should be where the dipstick goes into. All right, let's see if I got a good view there. Not too bad. Okay. All right. Make sure there's no debris in the tube. I'm going to insert this into the dipstick hole in there. All right, and then I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to pump this roughly about 25 times, they tell me. Actually, I'm going to lower this a little bit that way you guys can see it up close. Up close. Okay. So there you go. There's a pedestal right here, and fully stand it. All right. So pump it about 25 times, and as you guys can see, that oil is already going in there. So you guys can see that oil is getting pumped. It's filling up in here. So nothing but vacuum. So, all right. In the meantime that is happening, all right, I'm going to show you guys here is the oil filter right here. Now this one should be not too bad to get out. It's a little tight. It's not really bad because I just noticed that he started to spin a little bit, but make my life a lot simpler. Get one of these tools right here, oil filter pliers, and you know, turn it. All right. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put some rags in there. That way, if there's any oil spillage, should be very little, if any. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So make sure that paper towel sucks up all that oil. Film. Make sure you have a seal on there. You know, the O-ring. So grab a little bit of that oil. Put some on the filter itself. Right, make sure that paper towel doesn't sit in the base. We're gonna screw this on. Just I got about 4 quarts out of there. Should be 4.8. However, there's some that was in the filter, some that they still, you know, somewhere around the cavity of the engine. Okay, so we got new filter in nice and tight. We got all of this nice and clean. Alright guys, so the gallons on the back, it has the liters and quarts. So it's going to take a whole plus it says 4.8 quarts. Alright, so I got my funnel in there. Alright, so we're gonna dump this whole gallon in there plus some on the other one, and we're gonna move along. Alright, we put some more. We'll put oil in there. I'll check the dipstick real quick. See what we got going on here. All right, perfect. It's hard to see, but it's right about there. Obviously, the last step once you do this is to start the motor up. Make sure there's, and then recheck the level again, and so forth. So, all right. So the engine oil in this one is done. Let's move along. All right, guys. So this is the engine fuel filter. There's a little cartridge in there. They sell a tool that goes inside there where those teeth are. I think it's a little redundant, or a little, I don't think you need to spend that kind of money to buy that tool. Something with even the same oil filter or these kind of pliers will do just fine. So let's see. The oil filter is a little too big. This one expands, so we're gonna use this one right here, and we're gonna do it right on the base. Don't grab it on the bottom, right on the base. There it is. So keep spinning this thing around. There's a little bit of a grease on the threaded part, which is smart. Try not to spill much in there at all. There's also a seal in there, so remove the cartridge from in there. All right. And the same way that one came out, the same way this one is going to go in, just like that. Alright folks, so that's how you replace that little stubborn filter on there. So I'm going to start this motor up. I'm going to connect it to the water and start it up again and see if everything looks good. I'm going to check the oil level and go from there. Alright, so since we started the motor, I'm going to check the oil again now that it's nice and warm. And there you have it, folks. Nice level. Nice and clean, nice level. No noise, no nothing, everything looks good. So this is on the lower unit, this is the top plug right here. And then on the very back, see if you guys can see it. There is the other one right there. That's the bottom plug. So we're gonna remove the bottom plug first, and then remove the top one. And as soon as we remove the top one, the oil should start coming out of there quite rapidly. So there you go, guys. Raise it up just a little bit like that, and I'm gonna show you guys the seals that gets replaced, or the O-rings or the gaskets, however you want to call them. So this is the bottom plug. It's magnetized right in there, as you guys can see. That way you can get all those metal shavings. So there is a seal right there. So get that old seal out of there, just like that. New seal on that one, and that's it. Well, it was very time consuming. The fact that I had to do that trim seal. I'm sorry, the tilt seal. So I'm gonna do the other motor. I think what I show you guys is gonna be the same as the other motor. All right, guys, on my sea hunt, I got 2 access port back here. This is where the engines are at. I got one over here, which that's the one of the filters right there, and then I got one over here, and that's the filter right there. So we're gonna replace them both. All right. So as you guys can see, they're Yamahas too. Alright, the old one. Alright, feels good. I'll give it another. There you go. Alright guys, so we're basically going to be doing the same procedure for the other side. Basically doing the same procedure for the other side. So I'm not going to film this one because it's going to be redundant. But that's how you do one of those filters. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the service maintenance on this boat, except with the spark plugs and the water pump replacement. Like I said in the introduction video that I posted yesterday, those were done last year. I keep records of that. I keep records of what's been done per hour, per year. I put part numbers down of each and every single part that I replaced with. Not too long ago I did the seals on the steering system, so I also recorded that and put the part number for that for you know, in the future. They're probably going to go again. You know, it's a part. They're meant to go bad. So once again, on a nutshell, that is how this engine gets serviced. This is it for now. Hopefully the next video is going to be in the water, and nothing. Obviously, to be in the water, you need to take care of these 2 puppies first. So that way you have a very successful day in the water, whether it's family time, whether it's getting serious and joking, you know, just fishing time, having fun. So thank you for watching. Once again, click the like button if you like this video. You know, subscribe to my channel, please. Pass down the word. I tried to do this, you know, hopefully for in the near future for a living, and nothing. I hope you guys like the video. You know, subscribe and leave in the comments if you have any other way of doing this service. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know. I'm open for comments. This is to help all of us, each other. So some things work, some things doesn't work, but anyhow, thank you once again, and we'll see you guys next video.